Good morning, I'm Jasmine Anderson. Several suspected members of a South American theft ring are off the streets. Police say the 5 suspects tried to break into a home on South King Street in Elmont on Monday. At the time, investigators say they were using a Wi-Fi scrambler to interrupt police radio signals, which is also known to disable video doorbells and smart locks. All 5 are charged with attempted burglary. A guilty plea from this man who caused a 4-car crash in Patchogue while driving a stolen SUV drunk. Jeffrey Edsel is now facing up to 6 years in prison. The crash happened in June on North Ocean Avenue after Edsel crashed into an SUV, then spun into oncoming traffic and hit 2 other cars. An emotional night in Roslyn. 2 survivors of Hamas's attack on Israel shared their stories and called for the return of hostages. Shira Cohen and Eden Shmuel told their harrowing stories of survival at Temple Sinai. They live in Israel and were at the Nova Music Festival in October when Hamas attacked, killing 360 people.
It was like a movie. Even when we saw someone covered with blood and he had a shot on his shoulder, even then we don't realize that such a bad things are really.
Shmuel and Cohen lost 2 friends in the attack. More than 100 people, including 1 Long Islander, are still being held hostage. Only in Newsday, new pushback on battery storage facilities on Long Island. It comes weeks after Governor Hochul declared no harmful toxins were detected after 3 lithium battery sites that experienced fires last year. Activists on Long Island who reviewed the state report say it raises more questions than it answers. A key concern is an analysis of a May fire at an East Hampton battery site that didn't require a groundwater study after fire suppression water was released. The facility's owners say there are no safety concerns for local residents. You can read more about the battles over battery storage facilities on Long Island on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. A former Sears location is now home to Long Island's newest medical hub. NYU Langone opened its $170 million 4-story ambulatory center in Garden City yesterday. It's home to 32 clinical specialties, including dermatology and cardiology. NYU Langone leaders say concentrating services will help accelerate referrals and ease communication between clinicians. A Hilton hotel may soon open at a former bowling alley in Patchogue. The project would give visitors easier access to Fire Island and the Hamptons. The upscale Tempo by Hilton facility would include 16 apartments, a bar, and a restaurant. It becomes Patchogue's first hotel. An end of an iconic Toy Story in Huntington. After 43 years of serving locals and celebrities, including Demi Moore, Little Switzerland Toys and Dolls is changing hands. Owner Lily Berg has stepped down and passed the shop on to Northport's Einstein's Attic. The shop will reopen Friday as Einstein's Attic Huntington. We're told all staff members will stay on board. Checking out your hyperlocal Wednesday weather, mostly cloudy and chilly today, highs around 39 degrees. Tonight, mid to low 30s to be expected. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high of 45 degrees. A look at your 7-day forecast coming up.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Home Tax Saver, PTRC Incorporated.
Long Island has seen several intense rainstorms this winter, and with those storms comes floods. Ariel Dollinger has more on what winter floods mean for real estate.
I came downstairs and I was in shock. I mean, my whole basement was flooded. I had about 3 inches of water in here, and I didn't have a pump system in this part of my basement, so it was like a bathtub.
Pat DiOrio is one of many Long Island homeowners surprised by the severity and frequency of flooding caused by winter rainstorms.
We had one in December too, so that's 3 big flooding and beach erosion events in less than a month.
But how unusual is this?
To see 2 back-to-back is odd, but if the weather pattern doesn't change too much large scale, you'll tend to get the same thing in a given spot over and over.
DiOrio called a company that handles water and fire damage to pump the water out of the basement. The company visited twice, and the service cost her almost $2,400.
The guy who came to give me a quote, he couldn't even make it down the block because the water was so high, which is so ironic, you know. 4 guys came, they opened the basement window, they pumped out to the street. More came in the next day, they pumped again, and then they brought in a bunch of fans a couple of days later. And you could see it's dry as a bone.
Homeowners across the island are looking for long and short-term solutions, and every property is different.
I'm going to go to a couple of my neighbors and see how their pump systems work. I just have to figure out what to do if this ever happens again, and it probably will.
So if you're a homeowner on Long Island, what should you know about the ideal location of a house if you're either in a house or looking to buy a house?
Think of Long Island. South Shore is sandy beaches, North Shore is hills in Long Island Sound. You have the vast place in between. If you want to live near the water, you have to understand, especially South Shore, there is always flooding periodically. It may not be every year, maybe twice in 1 week like this, that will occur. And you have to decide whether that's going to be the factor to keep you living in higher ground.
For Newsday TV, I'm Ariel Dollinger.
Read more about flooding in real estate on Newsday.com. Just click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. Long Islanders are spending big bucks to redo nurseries for new babies. Elisa DiStefano and Beth Whitehouse have the story you'll see only in Newsday.
From car seats to cribs to high chairs to the latest gadgets and gear. Buying for a baby could be very expensive and quite overwhelming. Don't I know it?
I think you do, Elisa. So I talked to Baby Center, which is a parenting and pregnancy app, about what the average parent spends when they're having a new baby. And they said that getting all of your gear that you need to set up for your child is at least $4,000.
At least.
Yes, and it can go way up from there.
I met Newsday's family writer Beth Whitehouse at A&B Baby in Wantagh, where they have a range of products at different price points. The one thing and the first thing that everyone needs is a car seat because they won't let you leave the hospital without one.
Yes, and what parents should know when they're buying their car seat is that every new car seat has to pass safety standards. So whether you're buying the $250 car seat or the luxurious car seat, you will still have a safe baby.
The most luxurious you'll find here, the Nuna Pippa RX at $399.
People I've talked to have said if you're going to splurge on anything, splurge on your stroller. As opposed to your swing, which you might use for a month and a half, your stroller you're going to be using for potentially years.
Strollers can go up to as high as $1,500.
The average basic stroller is $309. And the baby list and the registry goes on.
You also need a safe place for your baby to sleep, a crib or a pack and play or a bassinet.
Yep.
You need a changing table to change the diapers. You need some place for the baby to relax while you're doing all of this.
Add in nursery decor, a seat to feed the baby or a high chair, somewhere safe to bathe the baby, a baby monitor, a diaper bag, and of course all that goes inside of it, depending on chosen brands and bells and whistles. All you buy for your little bundle of joy can come with a big budget.
Can you picture it? Here we go.
Elisa DiStefano, Newsday TV.
Read more about baby expenses on Newsday.com. Click Get More below the Newsday TV video box.
We are the people that go to meetings, look at the documents for you. That means a lot to the people who influence policy. It means a lot to our readers.
Newsday, covering Long Island like no one else can.
I'm Jasmine Anderson. Thank you so much for watching. We'll leave you with a look at your hyperlocal 7-day forecast.